Can I have your number?
Back of your head look ridiculous.
So,
I just saw that for the first time.
Yeah, Cujo, I don't even know what started it, but I think I referenced it. I was like, "Girl, can I have your number?" And Cujo was like, "What
the fuck is wrong
And then
with
I
you?
just like kept saying it. And
Can I have your number? 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 Like, it was consistent.
We decided to look it up and show Cujo the full Mad TV experience. Yeah. He yells at me for not seeing Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
That is a travesty.
No, it is, and that's why I do need to see it. And that's why we're gonna watch that after we finish this episode.
So, okay, I love this weapon, design-wise and concept-wise. Okay.
Oh yeah, we haven't gotten to see it much.
Is that out of each of those arms, you grab a little dart thing, right, and you stab an enemy with it. Then, boom. They all explode when you activate something. It is so cool. And the more moves you unlock...
little explodey daggers.
Yeah. Little explode. Like, very minor versions of Gambit's cards. That's how I look at it.
Oh, yeah, and I can see them just kind of floating there, too, while you attack.
Yep. And they explode one at a time, so your combo goes crazy for a second.
Huh. That's really cool. Actually, design-wise, for this game, that is almost literally the best weapon you could have for setting up combos. So I really, really like that. I think in that weapon in this game makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree. I think that's really cool.
I don't like you guys anymore. Go home.
Oh, so the other thing we discovered, so if you recall, last episode when it was lagging during that boss, I think, and I could be wrong, but my theory is that we actually found a memory leak in the game. I don't know where it started, but generally so our fix to it literally was to just shut off the game and turn it back on. We didn't change any of the graphical settings. The computer didn't have time to cool down or anything like that. Generally, when you see that kind of situation, that means that there's a memory leak in the game, and that literally means that there is data getting stored somewhere in the system that is never getting trashed. A lot of games have... Like, most of the time in any software that you use, there's usually like a garbage dump sequence where it goes through and it just like removes stored data that it knows it doesn't need. And, you know, I could even go really complex into this and talk about why people use C# versus C++, and it pretty much always comes down to having control over your software's memory usage. Mm-hmm. And that's a huge, huge deal. Memory leaks are caused when there are gaps where it just keeps storing stuff in memory from one thing. You know, it could have been probably not like an infinite loop, but something where something got triggered and it never stopped, and it kept storing data in the same place. And so it gets to a point where there's so much that it bogs down the processing because it runs out of RAM to use.
Oh, hey, it's your oversaturated environment that you talked about episode 1.
Oversaturated? Well, no, it wasn't the environment that was oversaturated. It was the objects. Oh. This environment is actually pretty low saturation. It's very brown, very gray. Watermelons are green, but whatever. So yeah, that's a memory leak for all you people that aren't software developers. But it's
to be one day.
it's pretty bad that they didn't catch that in this game. Sometimes they can be really, really hard to get. And
this weapon is broken.
Look
at him.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw how I ended the last fight, but I loaded up the knight with the. I don't know what happened there.
You okay there?
I lost it off the wall.
You know, I've had exactly the same kind of like
I don't know what happened.
That's the thing with doing commentary for hours on end is your voice just like does weird things sometimes.
Well, the thing is that it wasn't even like my voice. It was like a little piece of phlegm that like got in my nose and wouldn't go away. So in the middle of me talking, just like this, I was like, what is happening?
Gross.
So, the way I ended the last fight with the knight was that I loaded him up with these darts, and the second he dodged away, I just activated them, and they all exploded at once, and he died. It was awesome.
It is pretty awesome. I
really like this weapon.
I like it too. I don't think it's broken necessarily, but I do think that it makes fighting a lot of other enemies a lot easier.
Oh, yeah. Like, look at this. Load them up. Boom.
Yeah.
It makes it so much easier. I love this
awesome.
weapon. Like, the gauntlets are cool. There have been a set of gauntlets or melee as melee weapons in every single Devil May Cry game. And I love the style that they go with because every single attack you use charges up. Every single attack
cool.
in a combo.
It's very,
I love the dive kick. The dive kick.
We should play that game.
Oh, that game. I've seen video. I think it looks hilarious.
I think... Oh, maybe not. Never mind.
Now, one thing that is a little lacking for these... we really should talk about these weapons because we didn't really talk... Oh my god, it did it again. My face is trying to kill me. We didn't really spend much time talking about the weapons. So...
No, we should.
One thing I have noticed with the one ability that I get for the gauntlets is that is not chargeable. It's a little quick dash attack. It kind of hits everything in a big cone in front of you, which is cool. I like that. I love them. I love the gauntlets in every single one of these games because every one of them is cool. I like that for this one they added some weird spur thing on his boots, which...
It's like rocket powered.
Yeah, it's like rocket powered. It's fun.
You should show people while beating up enemies.
Yeah, well...
It's way more interesting that way.
Fine.
You're welcome, everyone.
One person's like, thank you.
I'm that one person.
Yeah. Oh, we're on the ground level.
Oh, okay.
We've never been on the ground level.
It seems like he has a lot of weapons, too, that, I guess there's the combat styles and then there's the weapons. Now, do those intermingle or do the weapons pose as new styles?
The weapons just pose as a new way of going about dealing with the enemies. Some have advantages and disadvantages. The sword I find is the best one because it's the easiest one to get used to, sort of. But having Swordmaster gives you different abilities that you can do with those swords and such and melee weapons. Like this is the ability I get from Swordmaster when I have it equipped and I hit the special ability button. It does that ground pound. For this one, what it does is automatically spurs two of those little needles and it shoots them rather than having to hit them with a melee attack, which sets them up and lands the needles in the direction or whatever in the enemies I want. I could just hit the special attack button, it fires them in a direction and holds them there. So if they're nearby, they can either grab onto them or the needles can end up getting onto the enemy or they just explode near the enemy and it damages them. For the sword, what it gives me is this little cool spinning attack on the ground. Now, mind you, every time you upgrade the sword style, or the styles themselves, it gives you access to new abilities. Case in point, for the Trickster, the base ability is this little move. In 3, what it could do is let you run up a wall and jump off, and it would be kind of cool and cinematic, but it also keeps you mobile. It keeps you moving around and quick. Swordmaster, as I've said, gives you extra abilities with the swords. Gunslinger gives you different moves with the guns that you have equipped. Basic one for this one, and this was my introduction into this style in 3 as well, is Twosome Time. That's the name of this. While firing one, you can move the stick and fire in a different direction. Or fire a basically full 360 coverage of whatever enemies are around you. Also, when you level up the style, you get access to Bullet Rain, which is that crazy, crazy, ridiculous move, which I love. It doesn't do much damage, but cinematic-wise, and because it's Devil May Cry, it fits perfectly.
It fits the absurdity of the combat. So my question is there ever a point in which it feels that you have too many options?
No. Because there's never a time where you're like, oh man, I've just got so many moves, like, I don't know what to do with them all. Like, you'll find yourself repeating a combo and then notice your gauge start to go down, like, oh, I need to mix it up. And then you'll switch to a different weapon. You'll switch to a different style. If you want to... Basically, what I love about the styles is that it's a way of switching up the battle a little bit, enough that it feels like a different way of going about having the fight. That's why I love playing as Dante in this game, and in Devil May Cry 3, was because each level for 3 gave you a different way of looking at a battle and a conflict that with Nero is sort of cut and dry. Nero's ace in the hole was the Devil Bringer. Dante's ace in the hole is that he can look at it in any way he wants.
No, I think that's what makes Dante that much more of a compelling character in this game, is that, you know, you have so much more freedom with him.
Yeah. Plus, you get all the different weapons and such, and I kind of don't understand why they limited Nero so much. I mean, yes, they gave him a couple interesting mechanics in that he can grab enemies and get the special ability. He's got like a grappling hook thing that he could do with the Devil Bringer, which is fun.
Well, consider this. Say you've never played Devil May Cry before, and say you generally don't play action or even fighting games, because you're a big fighting game kind of person.
Absolutely.
So you're used to having a lot of different combos to pay attention to. Now, say they started this game with Dante, and you had your full arsenal of all the different types of, you know, weapons he starts with and combat stances. It very easily could feel overwhelming.
That's true.
That you have way too much you can use, and to the point where it actually prevents players from wanting to explore the different moves.
That's true.
That's where you see in a lot of games where that does happen, and players are just like, nah, I just stick to this one stance or this one like type of fighting because that's what works for me. But there's so much more you could do, and a lot of these players just choose not to because they don't. It feels like too much work, and you have to remember everything. Mm-hmm. Now, Nero offers a solution to that. He is literally the device to allow the player to ramp up to Dante's level.
Oh, that's fair.
I mean, he starts off with basically nothing, and as we continue through the game, he gets a lot of new abilities, new fighting styles, new weapons, which gets you into the mindset of using different pieces of equipment. And then when you get Dante, you're introduced to more combat styles, and then it just kind of feels like a natural fit.
That makes sense. Okay.
The other advantage, too, aside from all that, is that it sounds like the controller mappings are pretty much the same for all different things. So it becomes pretty intuitive once you figure it out the first time to adapt to the next one. And so when you're finally using Dante, switching between all of them just feels natural because you're not actually having to learn different controls for each.
Got it. Okay.
So that's both good gameplay flow and good control design, good like game feel. So good on Capcom and whoever the like. Was it Capcom that actually developed this, or did they just publish this?
Capcom developed this.
Okay, yeah. So then good on Capcom for actually doing that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the end of the episode. Woo! Jeez, you've been fighting just hordes of enemies this time.
It's because we're getting close to His Holiness.
Yeah, well, this
is what I kind of like about it.
Level 17, right? So we have this and then 3 others, and then that's the game.
Yeah. Guys, we're almost done with Devil May Cry.
What? Not yet, though. Still got at least like 6 more episodes in us, if not 1 or 2 more.
Plus there's DMC.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I just said it.
Oh boy.
In the future, I want to play DMC and show you, because in terms of level design and concept and everything, dude, you will love it. You will love it.
I hate all games.
I think I know a thing or two about game design. I've made 2, and they're like 5-minute play games. That gives me enough. I've played Devil May Cry 1 and 2. I know that they're all the same.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding. But anyway, we'll see you guys in the archives.
Okay, bye.